JC here for RetiredCheap.Asia. Guess what? It's time for another road trip. Where's JC going now? I'm headed to Chumphon. Chumphon is a seaside community south of Hua Hin, Prachuap Khiri Khan. It's south of that. It's considered the first town of the south, actually, the southern part of Thailand. It's got 200 kilometers of coastline, so it's very, the province is big on the coast, a lot of beaches and everything. So what's so special about this? Not much, that's why I'm here. Actually, it's sort of a jump-off point. Most people only know of it because this is where they land or where they stop to head off to the islands, like Ko Tao. Ko Tao's got a little bad reputation. It's been in the news lately, in the past year or so, about some bad things that are happening out there. But this is some of the best area for diving in Thailand and snorkeling. We're not going to do any diving and snorkeling, but I want to see if it's a good place for a ripper to live. So we're down in Chumphon and let's see what it's going to be like as a ripper living here. So we're going to check out things like medical. Can we get immigration needs taken care of here? What kind of shopping is there? Laundry facilities, housing, all these things like I usually cover for you all. So let's go check it out and see what it has to offer for a ripper. So if you're thinking of coming to Chumphon, another option you have as far as transportation would be the train. The southern line leaves Bangkok and comes down here. It also goes through Chumphon and Hua Hin and a couple other places as well. So if you're trying to get down here and you want a really unique trip, at least unique for Americans, because we pulled up all basically the domestic rail. In America, we pulled them up and replaced it with bike trails. But here in Thailand, you can get around the country really great on rail as an option. So you can come on down by rail. Just take the southern line, leave Bangkok, come down here. It's going to be about 700 baht to get down here from Bangkok. So there you go, another option to get to Chumphon. So you want to come to Chumphon. Chumphon, you can get there a number of ways. You can get there by the train, but you can also go by bus. Now, if you're going to take the bus, it's going to cost you 300 or 400 baht, and it's going to take about 8 hours to get here from Bangkok. But you can also fly. Nok Air flies daily down to the airport, and Happy Air flies 5 times a week. But as you can see, the airport's not close to the city, so it's pretty far away. The reason is that airport, most people fly in and actually get go to the pier and take a boat to Ko Tao or to one of the islands. Not a lot of people come into the city, so it's a little bit far away. So if you're going to fly into the airport, you're going to need transportation. You can get it at the airport to get to your hotel or get into town. But if you're staying in some places, they actually have transportation to get you from the airport to the hotel. So check on that as well. But there's a few options to get down here from Bangkok. So what are your transportation options once you get into Chumphon? Chumphon, finding a motorcycle rental, which is always one of the first things I do, is really difficult here. Why would that be? Well, it's not it's not a tourist destination. Really, it's a jumping off point for people. They stop here and then head off to the islands and go diving and doing things like that. So there's not a lot of tourism in the city itself. So finding a motorcycle rental is hard. There was a place called Fame Travel. They wanted a $5,000 deposit, 5,000 baht deposit, credit card, ID, all this stuff. We were able to find one, and they were 300 baht a day. We were able to find one at a hotel for 300 baht a day where they knew us, and we didn't have to leave any ID or anything like that, or deposit. But it was very difficult, and those are the only two I could find. So there might be more. If there are, I'll mention them later in a video. So how do you get around the city if you don't have the motorbike? Well, there's song taos, like the one you see behind me, which is basically a pickup truck with 2 seats in the back, song tao, 2-seat. So anyway, that's available, and also there's motorbike taxis that you can negotiate with the guy on a motorbike taxi, and he'll take you around as well. So those are your options. And the blue Ko Tao, as you see behind me, goes around the city. Then they have white ones and stuff that go to outlying areas. Then they have bigger ones, like trucks that are set up like this. They go even other places. So that's how you get around the city of Chumphon. So we'll check out more options, but see if we can't find you another motorbike to rent cheaper. So if you live in here and you get sick, what are you going to do? Well, we have the Thung Wua Laen Chumphon Hospital. So you have a hospital. Again, this is out on the road as you come in to the city, which is about 10 minutes from the city center. You have a hospital here with an emergency room and everything. So as far as medical needs, you'd be covered there as well. There is a hospital. It's not gigantic, but it would cover all your needs. If you need something bigger, you can get to a bigger city. Now remember, we're not that far from Surat Thani and Ranong, so there you go. But we do have a hospital in town, so you're covered if you get sick, that's for sure. So here's another option for you as far as hospitalization, medical. This is the public hospital. It's much bigger than the other one I showed you. Chumphon Ket Udom Sak Hospital. This is the government hospital, so it'll be a lot cheaper. You might have to wait a little longer to get taken care of, but this is where all the locals go, and you could get almost everything done here, and it would be really, really cheap. I don't know if you ever saw my videos about when I had my motorbike accident down in Phetchaburi. I was there 3 days, had neurologists, CAT scans, x-rays, medicine, everything, and it was like $200. So you'd experience the same type of treatment and the same type of prices here. So when it comes to shopping, I'll look around, see if I can find a Robinson shopping mall or a Central shopping mall, and I don't think we're going to find one in Chumphon, but there is the Oceanside shopping mall. Now this is the old style shopping malls that used to be around everywhere until they started to build bigger ones. And what you'll find in here is KFC. Here they have a Swenson's ice cream. You have a place, a supermarket to buy food. And on the different floors, you're going to find different products. Like one floor will just be like men's clothing or men's and women's clothing. Now the thing about this, keep in mind, is what the things, the companies, the name brands or the brands, those companies will buy floor space. So you don't go into one of these floors and say, okay, here's the shirt department, and look through all the shirts. There's going to be a department that's like Aero products, and Aero will have their pants or shirts or socks, whatever. Then you'll have like a Wrangler department, and that Wrangler leases that space, and then they'll have all Wrangler products. So you got to look around to find what you're looking for, but you can usually find what you're looking for. Banks, phone shops, a little food court as well will be in here. So there you go. This is the old style shopping mart. So you can find, you can go shopping here and find products that you need. We'll see if we can find something else that's bigger and more modern, but hey, you got your shopping covered if you need it. So I showed you the Ocean department store shopping mall. Well, they also, that was originally the only one they had. Now they have Lotus, which foreigners call Lotus, but it Lotus, and also Big C, which are like in America Walmarts, which is all inclusive. They have everything you could want, including a supermarket and all your home goods and anything you get, appliances, anything. So you got Lotus, you got Big C. You also have Home Pro now here. And Home Pro is what we had back home in America called like Home Depot, which is everything for the home products, plumbing supplies, electrical supplies, gardening supplies, all that stuff in Home Pro, which is right down the street. All these are located within a quarter mile of each other. So there you go. As far as shopping, all your needs are covered. Now, as far as the old city or the central part of Chumphon, this is about, I'd say, 10 minutes outside of there, so you're going to need transportation to get here. So there you go. Shopping needs, scratch them off the list. So when it comes to shopping in Chumphon, there's a market, and from what I understand, there's no name. Ani talad mi chu mai? อะไรนะ
ตลาดเทศบาล
เฮดชบาน
เทศบาล
เฮดส
เทศบาล
เฮดสบานใช่ไหม
เทศ
เอด
เทศ
เทศเทศชบานอ๋อเทศชบานอ๋อครับคุณครับ Well, there you go. That's the name of it, Techaban. Talad means market. Techaban's the name. Now, this borders the railroad tracks and is just off of the river when you cross the bridge of the river. This market is gigantic, and as you can see, all the seafood. Check this guy out. Wow. ใหญ่มากอันนี้ปลาชื่ออะไรชื่ออะไร
ช่อนทะเลปลาช่อนทะเลบอกว่าปลาช่อนปลาช่อน
Fashon. Oh, well, that's a giant fish. Check this guy out. There's my hand. My hand's big. That guy's giant. Wow. Aroy mai? Aroy. Yeah, delicious, she says. So anyway, as you look through here, there's all the meats, seafoods, everything. I saw big old bags of fresh oysters for 100 baht, which is like $3. And that would be like, I don't know, 4 or 5 dozen oysters in that thing, which are expensive now back in the States. So, as you can see, there was meat, seafood, all the fresh veggies and everything. You can get clothes sewn up and repaired here. Get soaps. Kenom Jin, which is a rice noodle. Check this place out. They have everything here. This would be the place you would come if you had a motorbike, transportation, come out here and do your shopping for your fresh goods. Beautiful broccoli, beautiful cauliflower. You can buy cut up vegetables already. If you want to make a stir fry or a soup or something, 20 baht for all those cut up vegetables. So there you go. I don't know if you can see how far this goes down. It goes down a long way. So there you go. There's your option. You wouldn't need any other place to buy fresh food, that's for sure. And the stuff looks really nice too. It looks, that's the thing about here. People are worried about eating in restaurants and stuff, but all the food is fresh every day. They don't have like big refrigeration units and things like that. The restaurants or the food carts are small. All they got is ice. So they come to the market, buy this, then they go set up their cart and sell it. And when it's out for the night, it's out. They don't get it till the next day again and open again. So all the food's constantly fresh and constantly turned over. Look, we even have okra. We actually have avocados now, but they never make it out of the north because the market up there eats up what they can supply. And when we started out a few years ago and actually started a grape industry, and now grapes are everywhere, so I'm hoping the same thing's going to happen with avocados. But as you can see, look at all the stuff here. Incredible. You're probably saying, well, what are some of the prices? Think about this as if I start asking these people, how much is this, how much is that, and I don't buy anything. I sort of feel bad about doing it. But I'll give you an idea here. Let me ask about the broccoli. Any nung lo raka tarai kap? Nung lo? 80, so 80 baht. Any mangan mai? Okay, 80 baht for broccoli for a kilo or cauliflower. So you can compare that to what it is that you're paying back home. So there you go. Awesome, huh? Well, I hope this is helpful. We'll go check out some other things for you, but I want to turn you on to this market because there's so much here, and it goes on for a long way. So I'm going to peruse around, then we'll be off to find some more stuff for you. So one of my favorite things to have during the day is coffee. I don't drink a lot of coffee, but I drink a couple cups every day. One in the morning, usually one time during the day while I'm out and about, just to give me that little boost. But I'm always looking for deals. In Chiang Mai, I put one up, said, why do you need Starbucks? You can get, mocha, iced mocha coffee, cheap. Well, in Ko Chang, I found that a 7-Eleven had a cafe in it. The only one I'd ever seen. Well, in Chumphon, there's a 7-Eleven, and guess what? They have fresh coffee here as well. So we got fresh coffee in a 7-Eleven. The iced mocha, which you can find for 70, 80, 90 baht, sometimes even over 100 baht. At 7-Eleven, guess how much? Check it out. 30 baht. That's like $1 US for fresh coffee. My particular favorite is iced mocha, but it could be anything. They got cappuccino, espresso, americano. You name it, they got it. 30 baht, that's a deal. So anyway, can you get a good deal on coffee in Chumphon? You bet you can. Just go to 7. So if you're staying in Chumphon and you want to come to the beach, I mean, that's the whole reason you head to the south, right? Is to be around these great beaches. Hat Sari Beach is about 30 minutes away from the town itself. And you can come out here. I'll see if there's actually long-term accommodations. But as you can see, when you come out here, you're on the southern coastline. What would be really cool is if you had a boat, you know, you could go out and go fishing and stuff during the day or go diving, because diving and stuff is really supposed to be phenomenal. This is some of the best diving areas of Thailand. And most people just come to the pier that's up the road, jump on the pier, jump on the boat from the pier, and head out to the islands. So there's not a lot of people around here. So it's really cool. It really gives you that feeling that you're in a fishing village. So we'll see if there's long-term accommodations. If so, when I do my my final video, my synopsis of my trip down here, I'll talk about that if I can find some long-term accommodations. But this is really cool. And there's when you leave Hua Hin and you're heading south, all of a sudden you start seeing coconut palms. And so it really gives you a feeling of being in a tropical area, which you don't get that from Hua Hin North. And so I really feel like I'm down in the islands. So this is really cool. Great, beautiful views, vistas. So this would be right down the road from you if you were actually staying in town. And if you were staying out here somewhere, you could actually go into town and do your shopping and stuff. So there you go, Hat Sari Beach. Let's check out some more beaches. How do you like this scenery? Is this phenomenal or what? You know, this province, Chumphon province, has like 200 kilometers of coastline. And so a lot of it is like this, just fishing villages and things, not a lot of you know, sandy beaches to hang out on, but the few they have are really nice. And I'm sitting here enjoying this view and just reminiscing a little bit, because I see the fishermen going out to fish. And it reminds me of that story, I'm sure you know it, where the foreigner goes up to the fisherman and, you know, says, sees him coming in with his fish and says, well, you know, what do you do when you're not fishing? He says, I play guitar with my friends at the bar, I spend time with my family and stuff like that. And he says, wow, you got some really nice fish. He says, if you fished a little bit more, you know, you'd have more money, you'd probably buy another boat, and then have 2 boats, and progressively build it up to where you had, you know, a whole fleet of boats, maybe even be able to process the fish yourself, sell it off in a few years, you know, 5 years or something down the road, you'd be able to sell it off, have a lot of money. You know, the business mentality, right, you know? And so the fisherman goes, well, what would I do then? And the guy thinks, you know, says, well, you'd be able to spend more time with your family, spend more time with your friends, playing guitar and going to the bar. And the reason I say that is, you know, just like you all watch these videos, it reminds me of, I mean, this has been my life. The majority of my life has been like this. I've always sort of worked backwards, and I've told people that when they think about making a living, whether you're earning supplemental income or whatever, to work backwards. And I always figured out, what do I want my life to be like? And then what could I do to facilitate that? Because why not earn a living doing what you like, as opposed to earning a living doing something you don't like, saving up the money to go do something you like, and only be able to do it a small amount of the time of your life. And so, I mean, I lived in Costa Rica by exporting cars down there from America. Spent time in Brazil because I went down and bought emeralds and sold them in the U.S. Delivering boats to the Caribbean as a kid. You know, I've done all these things because it's what I enjoyed doing. I just happened to figure out a way to earn money while I did it. And I never had a lot of money, never earned a lot, but had a wonderful life. So I'm sitting here watching the fishermen go out to fish. And it reminds me of that, of how much I enjoy my life. Enjoy just the moments of hanging out and relaxing and enjoying the ambiance around me instead of trying to think. Somebody on YouTube commented, and I said, life is what, John Lennon said, life's what happens to you while you're busy making other plans, because they're overthinking life, as about trying to make everything perfect and worrying about statistics and all these things, and it's just like, stop and just enjoy every moment. I remember I came down with an incurable illness once, and I say that came down with it because I cured myself. They said, no, you can't do that. So I guess that's been in remission now for almost 30 years. So anyway, it was one of those things where when health is taken away from you, you realize just how important every minute is. If you didn't have a tomorrow, or if somebody said, okay, you only got another week to live, what would you do? Would you spend more time at the office? Would you be worrying about, some people don't come to Thailand, don't make a move in their life because they're trying to make it perfect. They want to cover all their bases, and you're never going to cover all your bases. There's a saying that says, man plans and God laughs, and I love that saying because no matter how detailed you get into the plan, it's never going to work out the way you had it planned. I guarantee it. So, just take a step and see where it leads you. I have a firm belief that everything that takes you off of this plan is actually happening on purpose, and that's to keep you on your purpose. I call them spiritual speed bumps, slow you down or speed you up to get you where you're supposed to be when you're supposed to be there, and don't try and push it. Just go when it feels right, stay when it feels right, and enjoy the moment, because there's not that many of them. The only destination we have, the real destination, the only thing for sure, I'm not in a hurry to get there. So I just thought I'd share that with you as the sun goes down and I'm enjoying the ambiance here. It's really, really nice. And if you lived in the town here, this would be very close by. And this is a lot different than, say, a place like Chumphon or Hoi An, where everybody lives at the beach. The city is at the beach. This is a really refreshing change to that, I've always said that, Chumphon and Hoi An's a zoo on the weekends, a zoo on holidays. And I'm sure a lot of people come here on high season maybe, or holidays, I'm not sure, but this is awesome. Very quiet as the sun goes down, and enjoying the sunset. So this to me is really, really pleasant. And the breeze is cool. So anyway, too bad you're not here to share a beer with me or something. Toast the sunset. Anyway, just thought I'd share that with you. So we'll go off and find some more of these kinds of places. And there's so many of them. I do a video about Hoi An or Chum, and everybody wants to go there, and it's like, oh man, you're doing yourself a disservice by doing that. And there's, plant yourself somewhere temporarily. Don't come over. Yeah, people are coming over. I want to bring my stuff. I want to bring this. I can't get rid of it. I can't, I'm attached to it. Get rid of all that stuff. Get rid of your attachments. I remember when I came over and first time I had a big old bag. Rolling along, I realized I only used a third of what was in that bag. Second time I came over, I had this Eagle Creek bag, and it's not very big. And the backpack actually, it has a backpack, it zips on it. So you can actually carry it all. It's got straps, it's got wheels, it's got handles on it. And I could travel anywhere, zip it up, go. When I wanted to take a short trip or something, I'd unzip the backpack and put a little smaller stuff in there and take off. And you ought to do that and really see Thailand, and Cambodia, and Vietnam, and these places. Because you're going to sit in one place like this and say, this is where I want to hang out. And it'll change. That's the thing about it, is you also have to be flexible because it changes. I remember the first time I went to Ko Samui. I went to Ko Samui before there was an airport. And I sat on the beach in a chair. And I was on staying in a bungalow. I think it was like $5 a night or something. I said, this is paradise. This is where I want to retire. And of course, I was only, 50 at the time, or I mean, 35, 40 years old, something like that. Anyway, yeah, and then I went back years later after the airport, and I sat on the same chair on the same beach, and it was trashed. I mean, literally trashed. You look up and down the beach, and there was just trash. People thrown out in the ocean and washed up on the beach. They'd put in the airport. The building was out of control, and when they finished building something, they just left all the construction debris lying around. It was horrible. And I went, they ruined the place. That's why I realized at that point, you have to be flexible. Because if I had been living there and I watched that happen and go, okay, time to go. You know, people ask me, where do you live? And I say, wherever my head hits the pillow. You know, I'm not locked into some place. And so this is why I like to get out and show you some of these places, because it also allows me to find out one particular harbor. So anyway, that's it. JC's philosophy for tonight as the sun goes down on this beautiful evening. Let's go find some more stuff for the rippers, okay? See ya.